Morning, Jules here. So we've got another take and create, and today we've got kind of the heart-shaped pockets that we did for the with the lavender and lace, but this one's the daisy. But I also put a file folder in, and I also put a sweeping pocket so that you can put that, and you can either put your file folder in or you can put your daisy. But what I did was I also did a lot of you can see I didn't have my paper in my printer straight, so we did some labels. So we did 4 of those. We did 5 slightly smaller and 5 kind of tiny tags. So with the magic of editing, I'm going to go away and I'm going to cut these out, and I will see you in a few minutes. See ya. Okay, so I'm back. So this is, we've cut them all out. I'm going to ink round them. And you will see that I have, when I do them so that there is kind of a rough, looks as though it's been inked round. So what we're going to do is do all the creases. So I'm just, there's white marks where you have to crease, so I'm just lining them up with the now. You can either do that way or that way, or you can cut these off, which I'm going to do, and stick them on. But I have to show you what they looked like with the creases. And we'll just the pocket, fold the sides in, and then fold the bottom flap, and we'll just I'm just using it's ground espresso just to go around the edge. Like that. I'll just put them there. And Now what I try and do is I try and do these take and create so you can do a lot of things with them. So I'm just going to ink around there. Yep. So I'll stick this one down first, so I'm just sticking it on the side. In fact, I'm going to put it on this one, and I'm just making sure that it doesn't come over the edge. Now this one will stick down on the edge, but will also stick just that edge. And you can do this if if you've printed off the ones last week with the two, although they've got little flaps to go on them. So there you are. So you've got your pocket, and I would let that just dry before you start putting things in. But obviously, for videoing purposes. So there you are. And then we can just and that's it. And then you've got your little pocket that'll fit that in like that. But I think I'm actually going to put it on here. It just fits on here, and that's where I want it. And you can stitch down these, you can glue them down, or you can put, as I've done in the past, you can stick that there, bend that round and stick it there, and then you've got the whole thing. But I'm not, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down. I'm just putting a thin line of glue, just and I'm going to find a nice little stamp with a number on, just to that one. And I'm going to use, I'm going to put that there. Actually, I'm going to put that right down at the bottom. I'm using ground espresso. And there we are. And what else are we going to? I'm going to do some stamping, because I do like to do some stamping on these. I'm going to do the date, because it's nice cursive script. And it because it's in the ground espresso, it just looks as though it's part of the I'm going to do this one. And that's like that. Ah, that's a bit silly, isn't it, Julie? Okay. So we'll do it again. And there we are. And we'll stick this down. And then just put that right down at the bottom. Keep them separate. What we'll do is we'll put those 4 in there. We'll put those 3 in there. We'll put that one in there. But we'll also put these in there like that. And there we are. But what I do want to do is I want to do put some daisies. So what I've got is I've got some die cuts. They're not die cuts, they're bunches. And this is the 1.5. It's the Woodware Craft Collection, and it's the daisy. And I've just cut some out of and I've just got some, and I'm just embossing the petals on the side that's not going to be shown, and then turn it round and do that. And you can use any ball tool. Obviously I've got quite a few, but and what I want to see is I want to see what that's like. Here we are. And I've got quite a big one here, but I only punched the one out, and that's the, again, Woodware Collection, and that's the 2-inch, because I thought it was maybe too big. And what I did was I just did round them in brown ink a little bit, just to, so you can see the edges. Just look at that. Oh, quite like that. Yeah, I quite like that, and I've got some now I've got some, but they're purple round and I can't change that. They're too big, but in the middle of these is these like little plastic things that are daisy centres. So I've cut the little spikes off and the plastic, and I'm going to put that there, I think. Just a little on the edge. Oh, not emboss it too much. Let's see what that looks like. And this is just part of a stamping mat that I've just cut. It was a big 12 by 12, but it was just too big. So I've got another one somewhere. Yep. Put it there, but I'm not. I'm going to put it here. And again, just got that, and I'm going to have a look and see. Again, we're not going to deboss it too much, just I'll just put single ones on. I know daisies have got a lot more petals and you usually double them up like that, but I quite like the single ones. I think we'll just put 3. And then should we do some Alright, we'll see, we'll see. Over there, so that's sticking that down. Put that one there. Yeah, I still don't like the no. what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of 3D pearls effect. There we are. So you can use, and these I've had for years. These are Dovecraft. I'm surprised they're still okay. So we'll put them back and we'll have a look at what we've got. So there we are. We've got a file folder. And I think that's it. Just didn't seem to be sitting in. It's sitting in. And then we've got the 4 big ones in there in the file folder. We stamped it a little bit, and you can stamp all along. You could put a stamp on there if you want instead of flowers. And then we've got this one, and we've got the 4 there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the daisy journal, and we're going to have a look and see where we're going to put this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here, and I'm just using it as a pocket. Now there's the crease, so I don't want the petals to go over that, so I'm just meeting them up there. And then I think what we'll do is we might have that one in there. Now this is a file folder, so yeah, you can use it as a pocket. Or you can put it in a pocket, and I think I want to put this in a pocket. You know, like that. So what I'm going to do is, for now, is I'm going to put it in there until we get some pockets, and that's it. But normally that will go in. I think I'll do another one of these pockets and have it just sweeping in, because I quite like that as a separate little bit to take out, whether I should make a pocket. Have we got time? So we've got some book page here, and it's what I've done the daisy, and I quite like that because it goes with that quite well. Now do I want a long pocket like what I did on that one? So I quite like that. And I think that's what we'll do. So what I'm doing is I am going to stick this together. I'm not going to put all the little pockets on the side, I'm just going to have one big long pocket. No, that's not stuck that down well. Not very good, Julie. That's one thing about glue stick. If you're quick, you can open it back up, unlike if there's any weird edges, we'll trim them off. That's better. Now, so I want that. I want that cut off. Because that was missed. And I don't want I'm just looking to see where I really want this, and I think that's it. So I'm just going to trim that off. And I'm just using the book page text as a stick that down like that. And then glue the 3 sides. And we'll just trim this little bit off here. And do we want any daisies? I thought I had more. We do. So we'll have a go at doing this on. Turn it over, dip it in the middle. that one's been. And we've got these plastic flower centres again. I think we'll just put a couple of these in. They've got like a plastic spike on the back, but and there we are. And then that's a chance to dry, and we can pop that in there. So because these aren't down properly, I'm gonna have to and there we are. And then if you wanted, you could put some little labels or something on. Got that one. Oh, I've got a couple of these. And these are just the sort of like bits that I've cut off book pages and just stamped on, so it's just, I didn't cut it out, just trimmed them down and that was it, and just shoved them in. Yeah, we'll have this one coming off the pocket a bit. And the flower going over there. And that's it. And we'll just leave that now. You can put that down there, or you can put it up there. You can put some tags in there. But again, it's another pocket. You can do that on any journal. I do print digitals out on book page, on like encyclopedia book page because it's quite large. It's just a case of playing about with it with your printer, and just getting the right settings. I don't know the settings for everybody's printer, but my printer, I just make it down to 8 by 10. But again, as I say, it's just a case of printing, playing about with the settings, to get your digitals to print out, and they do look quite pretty. That's one that I did with that one, and that one's got the pockets in as well as that one's not. And I quite like these book page long side pockets. I do them with digital ephemera as well. So anyway, that's enough, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye.